A healing vision born from personal loss. And today we're sharing the details of Rainbow Bridge Remembrance Day. The event's origins began when Dachshund Adoption Rescue Education President Alicia Duvall read a heartfelt article on grief in the New Barker. Well, she at the time was mourning her heart dog, Forrest Gump. After 16 years together, did find deep comfort in the peace and inspiration to help others coping with similar grief. I am so happy that she joins us now. Alicia Duvall, of course, president of the Adoption Rescue Education, along with Anna Cook, editor-in-chief of the New Barker magazine.
Thank you.
I am so glad you're here. I shared with you before we started, the love of my life was a black lab. So I feel what that grief is like. And to have a Remembrance Day, even before we dive in, we're starting to realize more and more people don't talk about grief when it comes to pets, need to. Maybe more people starting to talk about it. What have you been able to find out?
So over the last 18 years as editor of the magazine, I have seen a real shift change in the way people speak about grief and pet loss. They're speaking more about it right now, and as a result, we're doing more articles in the magazine on pet loss, hoping to provide a safe spot, an open spot for people to have that conversation. We want to try and normalize the conversation on grief.
And I know there were several signs, Alicia, that pointed you needed to get involved, because the Remembrance Day, you knew you were going to do this. And then you kind of found out about it and wanted to take the reins and even became a leader of it in a way, because it was on Forrest Gump's birthday, right?
So yeah, I was in the throes of grief. I lost Forrest in March of this year. And after reading the article in New Barker, I reached out to Anna. And in the course of that phone call, I had a mini breakdown on the phone. Aww. I said, I don't know what to do. I've lost loved ones in my life, humans, but I've never been this sad before. Just where I don't know what to do. He was part of my life for 16 years.
Yeah.
So I Googled Rainbow Bridge Remembrance Day to see when it is, what can I do? And the date was August 28th. And I rescued Forrest Gump on August 28th, 2009. That was the day I walked out of now PRC in Hillsborough County, but that's where he came from. And he had a little cast on his leg. He had been found by a TICO worker in a field out in Brandon, and he had a broken leg. And I was supposed to foster him for the weekend and get him to another home. And he came in, and that was it. It was love at first sight.
Oh. I'm curious, and I want to get, your take, Anna. Being with the New Barker for so many years and talking about how you are seeing this conversation with grief happening more, you touched on the fact that it's different than losing a relative. And I think sometimes people may either water down the grief of a pet because they want to compare it to a person, but it is different. What have you been able to find about the different ways that people do handle grief? Because I know it's different. I still think of my rookie different.
Right. And there's a lot of guilt with that.
Yeah.
I hear from people who say, oh my God, I'm feeling more grief, more sadness over the loss of my pet than my mother or my husband. We're here to say that those feelings are normal.
Yeah.
And again, that's what we're trying to do with this ceremony, to normalize the conversation of grief. Grief is not a sign that there's something wrong with us. It's a sign that there's something right, that we lived, we loved, and we were loved in return. So speaking openly about grief is acknowledging that love.
And again, nothing like pets' love,
Nothing.
Especially the ones who are blessed to be with us for a long period of time.
You bet.
And just being able to share the grief together. That's what's going to happen at the Rainbow Bridge Remembrance Day. There's all the information. Of course, Quaker Steak Lube in Clearwater, thenewbarker.com for more information, counseling support, pet blessings there, just to have the community.
And the lighted luminaries too. That's going to be the culmination of the ceremony.
Well, I am so glad you were here. Alicia, thank you for sharing the Forrest Gump with us today. And Anna, keep up the wonderful work.
Thank you so much.